Here in Newport, on the Central Oregon coast, we do have a really large tourism segment, but through the years of living here, it's really about the waterfront. There's a lot of hard-working people that care a great deal. This fleet itself is probably one of the most progressive and successful on the West Coast in the development of fishing practices that are sustainable. It's commercial fishing, research, anything that has to do with working around the water is what Newport's about. A big part of what we do is actually handling waste. Most ports collect a lot of waste based on the activity that they undertake, whether that has to do with handling the waste from their engines or whether that has to do with waste from their fishing practices, like with nets. Something that's as large as a midwater net, which is sizable. We don't want that waste to wind up in the ocean. We don't want it to end up anywhere else where it shouldn't be. Fishermen, they're as concerned about maintaining the environment as some of the most ardent environmentalists. The proper disposal of these type of things is something that we should all be concerned about. We have about 260,000 pounds worth of nets piled up out here. We refer to it as Mount Baker. It's named after Nicole Baker because she's the one running the show with Net Your Problem. We've had other people come into the port and collect nets in the past, but they were nonprofit organizations that were funded off of grant revenue, which usually has an expiration date to it. Net Your Problem is for profit. They are able to come into the port, stay here, and grow here. We got a sizable pile of nets that are waiting to get picked up, and none of those will go to the landfill. That's definitely a win for everybody. So the port works with Net Your Problem by providing a place to exist, some space to be able to gather up nets and prepare them for loading. That way those nets can be transported off-site to someplace where they can be reused, recycled, whatever method Net Your Problem has determined.
It gives you a process for something that people were already putting off, and that is going through the equipment and gear you have and saying, we're not going to use this again. Everybody who has equipment in the storage in the port and has the same incentive to go through their gear by the same date, put it in one area, and it gets taken care of. It adds structure to getting something accomplished that needs to be accomplished but often doesn't because there isn't a catalyst to make it happen.
They make it really easy for the user. They don't have to worry about transporting their used nets. They don't have to worry about finding a place for it to go that's proper. Because we are an organization that's concerned about creation of jobs and economic development, we want to provide a place where water-dependent and water-related businesses can start up. And we want to reduce the barriers to entry in their marketplace as much as we possibly can as a service to the community. For Net Your Problem to be here, they basically reduce the cost for waste disposal. Most of all, they provide a sustainable choice for people to dispose of their nets. Fishermen have definitely responded positively to Net Your Problem's presence here. They have been asking for this sort of thing for a long time, and we were fortunate to have Net Your Problem come to us and ask to get established here because ideally it gives us a constant presence where we can provide that service and it's reliable and it's going to be here when they need it.
I think it'd be a benefit to any fisherman if there's an effort in a port to make your gear that you're storing less costly, more efficient, and you have a vehicle to do so in a way where it's going to be repurposed. And so it's a good thing to participate in. One of the things I like about being part of the fishing industry is that we have a community that cultivates in a way, when it goes and fishes, food that is wild caught, it's wild fed, and then it's processed in our communities, and then we feed people from that. It's all natural, it's family businesses. I feel very proud of that. I like being a caretaker of that model and a participant in the community. As far as Net Your Problem goes and being able to recycle gear, that's an extra added bonus to repurpose something that otherwise wouldn't have been repurposed.